Moneyality, Moneyality, with the Moneyologist, Miss Tanya Collins.
2, 1, 0.
Hi, everyone. Wow, it is a great day to be in the world. I am excited to start this show off. We are already in November, and I know everybody knows that the holidays are coming, and this show is going to be dedicated to the holidays. I am wanting to talk about holiday shopping with the 5 Moneyality types and how each Moneyality types, how you handle shopping, and what are your thoughts about shopping when you're out there. We just kind of got to figure out, like, how can we make this holiday be great and enjoyable and festive without being stressed or worried about money and how it has made us feel. So again, I am Tanya Collins. I am the Miss Moneyologist. You are watching me on this amazing podcast called Moneyality. I have been doing this for the last 10 years of my life. Like, these years are going by so quickly. But I always want you to know Moneyality was birthed from me understanding how I thought and felt about money. And that was my money personality. So I took an assessment to find out how did I feel and think about money, and found out that I was a keeper, which means that I'm a saver. And that was my primary Moneyality type. And then my second one was I am an adventurer, which is like a risk taker with money. And those two together has made me really feel like I am in a tug of war some days with when do I purchase something? When do I just take risks? When can I just be free to splurge and all of that? And there are 5 Moneyality types, and they are a splurger, which is a person who excessively circulates their money. And I always tell you, Moneyality, we circulate our money. We are putting the energy out there in the air. We circulate it, meaning that we want it to flow back to us, and we do not spend. So we are circulators of our money. And then there is the keeper, which is the saver, a person who really can become a fanatic saver, and they love having their money close by, and they are great bargain hunters. And then there is the tracker. The tracker is a person that is a planner. They love to be organized and plan for their future, and they are very conservative in making choices, and sometimes they are delayed in getting instant gratification because they think a lot about how should they be moving, and how is this going to help them in their future plans and their plan A. And then there is the mingler. The mingler is the person who loves great relationships, and they are relationship builders. They like the idea that money is not significant to them, that money is just a pathway to get some of the basic things that they need, but they are not excited or really big about having a lot of money. They feel like they want to be more sociable. They are very community oriented, and they are always willing to help with maybe not nonprofits and any kind of ways that they can make things better, but they are not big about money. So tonight we're going to talk about all 5 of these personality types and how they are going to make it through the holidays, right? So this weekend for me, I started the holidays, and I got some really great stories to tell you to get us started. I went to Atlanta this weekend to be a part of a beautiful event, which was my nephew Blake's baby shower with his girlfriend, Fantasia, and they are having a beautiful little girl named London. And the baby shower was awesome. It was a lot of family there, a lot of her family, and my sister and I went there, and we had people to meet us there. But it was such a great event where uh, I just felt like in the room, I could already feel the energy of holiday shopping and people purchasing these gifts and realizing that, wow, I wonder when I was looking at her opening all the gifts, like what person buys this and what person buys that? Is that moneyality type? Because it really can kind of consume me. But I want to tell you about my purchases and how I am proud of myself as a keeper, which is a person that's always a bargain hunter. And I've told stories before about how I have been the auntie that was buying the educational toys and things like that. I actually was very proud that I actually got a big group of different types of gifts this time. So I was able to buy things that I thought were very much possibly needed for the mother and the father and for the baby. But of course, my favorite all time gift was, and I actually have a picture of it, and I'm not sure, but maybe by the time I won't be able to show it this time, but my next show, I'll be able to show you the pictures of her first piggy bank. I was able to purchase a small piggy bank, and it says my first piggy bank. And I also attached a roll of quarters, which is $10, and that was part of the gift selections that I got for her. And so I was excited about that, and then there was a lot of other great goodies in there, but that, of course, that was the Moneyality one. And I'm going to be even more excited once I get my own Moneyality piggy banks so that I can brand my own and be able to share that with all newcomers, new babies, and people that want to start getting their kids on the path of understanding how to save and put their money in different categories for budgeting and things like that. So that was one of the gifts. And the other thing that I'm really proud of that's for myself was I went shopping with my nephew. And he and I were at the mall. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but the mall is not my favorite place to go. I am not a mall shopper. And so, with that being said, I'm in the mall, but I'm looking for different things that I want to turn into my merc and have, like maybe sweatsuits and jerseys or whatever. So I'm just kind of walking through because I have decided I'm going to be wearing my own brand. Like, I am a brand. Why am I going to put anybody else brands on me? So I'm really starting to think for the fall and the winter, I'm going to start wearing sweatsuits that have Moneyality on them and things like that, because I am the poster child for my own company, right? So I'm looking for those type things, but I am not seeing exactly what I want. So I end up going into Macy's. And of course, I went to the last, in Macy's, what is it called? The last call, I think. Oh, they had several sections around. So I'm all in the last call for whatever sales they got. And I'm thinking, okay, what do I find in here? So I find several bargains, and there was one beautiful green sweater. As you can see, I got the hair, and I got on a green top tonight, but this was a really beautiful green sweater. And I think green is a beautiful color. It's like one of my favorites. And so I'm thinking, okay, I want this sweater, but I didn't see the price check around. And with my keeper moneyality mindset, I'm thinking, wow, I wonder how much it costs, right? I mean, like, what am I thinking I'm gonna have to pay for this? And so I went to try it on, fit perfectly in my size. I'm thinking, okay, this is a win. And I wanted it to be a win where it would be very reasonably priced, right? So I'm walking around, and my nephew is calling me, just kind of checking on me, and I'm telling him, oh, I found a few things. And when I went back to the dressing room for the second time, I was trying on another outfit. I thought, okay, for this green sweater, if it's on sale or not, I'm going to get it. because my biggest thing is that I have found really great quality things, outfits. It could be anything. It could be a gadget, technology, or whatever. But I'm always in my mind believing it's gonna go on sale. Why would I ever pay full price for it, right? And so I said in that dressing room, I said, I am going to buy this sweater if it's on sale or not. I'm just gonna take the plunge, right? And so in my mind, that's what I've said. And I gather all the things that I want. I've got a really great deal on a couple other outfits. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm trying to change my image, guys. I want to have a new Miss Moneyality style, and I got this blazer that's banging, that's gonna be beautiful. It's bronze, and I'm like, oh, it's such a beautiful bronze color. And I got the shirt, like the real a bronze top that goes with it under it. I can't even think of what they call now, but that's gonna be bumping. I can wear it with jeans or slacks and just really be cute with it, right? So I get to the cash register, and the woman is doing the scanning, and she scans the green sweater. And I have to laugh. She scans the green sweater, and it is on sale. It was like a $79 sweater, and now it was 39 maybe. I don't think it was 50. I think it was like 39. And I was thinking, wow, that's still too high in my mind. And I am standing there baffled with thoughts of, am I really finna pay 40 for a sweater? Because honestly, to be really fair about it, because I normally do shop in discount stores, but have like as one of my sisters told me, the stores that sell clothes that are from last season, I am in those stores. So that sweater would be last, if I probably would not get that sweater again until next year or later, because it would be in last season's styles. But I said, I'm getting the sweater, right? And I'm not used to paying, but maybe $15 for a sweater or something like that. So I get it. I actually purchased it, and I purchased all of those things because I'm trying to do my new image. And I get out the store, and my nephew is waiting on me, and I can feel the buyer's remorse as I'm walking to the car. And I'm like, wow, is this real? Like, I spent this money, and I just got money. So I had extra money that I could do this. And I was thinking, I am proud of you. Like, I'm literally talking to myself, and I'm telling you, once you know your moneyality types, this is part of the strategies that I use to make improvements in my life, is to be able to talk myself through it and understand that it is okay, that I was a splurger. I was actually a splurger Saturday, where I splurged on something that I normally would not have done. And shopping is one of the things that I do not like to do. So I got the outfit. I should have worn the sweater. Oh, I should have put the sweater on, but never mind. I'll talk about that sweater, and I'll show you the picture that I was talking about as well. But at the end of the day, it was an amazing weekend, because I feel like I conquered something that I'm really proud of myself for making that purchase, which is why we're talking about the holiday shopping of the Moneyality types, because that's what I am going to have to do. I struggle with that so often, especially around the holidays. Like, who do you buy presents for? And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to go over 10 habits or 10 things that you can start to prepare yourself for while you're ready for the holiday and the holiday shopping, especially during the times that we're in. It's the inflation. I'm reading and seeing different articles about that people are not going to be buying and purchasing as much because of the increase in prices. And then there are still going to be people that's going to struggle, like the splurgers that want to buy the gifts and have a really festive holidays. And a lot of people don't understand that sometimes if we took this time, let's say this time right now that we're in, where the inflation is high and prices are just skyrocketing in grocery stores and in the malls and stuff like that, it's just a lot. I can feel the intensity of like having to pay the extra amounts and looking at the price changes like right in front of us. Like we are looking at something that was on the dollar menu now is $2 maybe, and we got a prime example with Dollar Tree. And I think they're 125 now, so it's no longer everything's a dollar. So with that being said, I am just totally excited, but I'm definitely proud of myself. And I was able to get another discount on something this weekend that I'm not going to share right now because it was a special present for myself that I'm not ready to reveal. But I was able to get a good price on that. So I was really proud of myself for finding it and being able to get the cost that was really good for that. And so I'll be sharing more about that later. So that's where we are tonight. I'm excited. Like I said, I made it back safely. I was excited to be with my family and to celebrate the birth of the coming of my new niece that's coming. Actually, my great niece, guys. Can you imagine? It was just a beautiful weekend, and just being able to have the experience hanging out. My sister and I drove from Mississippi to Georgia. So I had to come from Tennessee to Mississippi, then go to Georgia. So I was on the road a good bit, but it was all worth it. It was, like I said, a really great experience, and just meeting great people, excellent food. I mean, it was a party. That baby is going to be loved so much. London has so many people that's going to be just in love with her, because it was shown at that baby shower just how much people care about the mom and the dad. But just imagine when the baby gets here, we're going to be way more excited probably. So I'm excited about that. But with that being said, it is time to have some sponsorships and talk about the people that are supporting Moneyality. Okay, so our first one is Joy Media Group, and you can reach out to Joy Media Group at joymediagroup.net. The number is 901-618-9501. So that's Joy Media Group. The second one is Nick Venti Design. Nick Venti Design is one-stop shop for mobile apps, animation, and web design. And we are going to talk a little more about my web design in a minute. And that number is 662-902-9737. And we have sponsorship with Kevin White, who is with State Farm Insurance. And as I mentioned before, he handles all of my home and car, and just have been doing a great job with me for years with my insurance. And then we have Some Kind of Way Solutions Incorporated, which is my nonprofit. That's a financial focus, culturally connections, and life lessons. And I talked about that before. Some Kind of Way Solutions is a nonprofit I've started because I want to take Moneyality to new heights, but I also want to be able to have Some Kind of Way as another resource to expose children to cultural connections, like to travel and connect with other countries and learn their currencies and the buying power of the dollar to other countries, and just life lessons and just understanding how to move in life, as far as just learning the basic skill sets, but as well as courses, Moneyality, understanding how travel influences your life, languages. So that is Some Kind of Way Solutions Incorporated, and that number is 901-222-5704. And of all things, of course, I'm supporting Moneyality. And Moneyality is activate your mind, circulate your money. That is my company. And the website is www.moneyality.com. And you can follow me. I want everybody to start following me. I haven't been just pushing it, but I am tonight. I want you to follow me on YouTube at and that's with two E's. TheMesMoneyalogist, Miss Moneyalogist. And that is my YouTube. That's also my Instagram, and it's also my Twitter. So you don't even have to change those. They are all gonna be the same. So Miss Moneyalogist is my handle for YouTube, Instagram, and for people that would love to support Moneyality to help it grow and to build out, you are welcome to donate to Moneyality by using Cash App for us, and that is $Miss Moneyalogist, and that doesn't have the V right now, I don't think, but I think it's just Miss Moneyalogist, but I'll check. And that phone number for Moneyality is 724-242-7458. So if you want to reach out, and the email is missmoneyalogist@moneyality.com. Those are some new things that are happening because my website is constantly now being developed more. I'm excited about it. I've been talking to the web designer and my curriculum guy, and we are really pushing hard to get this Moneyality course ready for people to take part in. You can start getting ready to start pre-ordering it. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, that's where I am now. And again, our show title, we're going to come back and we're going to be talking about, my show title is Holiday Shopping with the 5 Moneyality Types.
You are listening to Moneyality with Tanya Collins, the Miss Moneyalogist.
2, 1, 0.
Okay, so I am back. So now for the rest of the show, we are going to be talking about holiday shopping. People are already out there. I'm sure they are the planners, maybe the trackers. They've already planned their list and they are out there probably filling in the gaps for the last few gifts that they're going to get. And then they're probably going to be done. But like I was talking about earlier, with inflation and with the different economical situations that we're in now, is holiday shopping going to look different for you? For me, I am going to do my best to push myself a little harder, to actually, the gifts that I buy, to make them really special, but also something that the person will really enjoy, and not something that I think they should enjoy, but something that I've either heard them say they need, or something that I know that would be a big part of making their life easier for them, but they would be happy about. So not just me selecting what I want them to have. So we're going to actually go through like these 10 different money habits that you have around the holidays. And we're going to talk about like which Moneyality type would be the one that would use this, who wouldn't use it, and how we could start using it if it's not something that you've thought about. So the first one we're going to talk about is the value of your relationships. And the first person of the Moneyality types I think about is going to be the mingler. So this person writes down all the things, and not only probably just the mingler, but the mingler, because they are really big on relationships, they're already probably writing down the people that they need to buy and purchase gifts for. And also the value of relationships and writing it all down. I would recommend that for all of us. Like, these are all tips that we all should implement, but some of us have already started this implementation. And so like a tracker has a list they already have a list of probably the ones that they're going to get. And their biggest challenge right now is matching the financial piece of how much they want to spend with their list, and not feeling stressed out about, is it going to be enough, or what else do they have to do to make it fit. But that is just a great takeaway, period. Like, all of us should be very cautious during these times and just really sit down. Like, we're still early. It's November. It's early, the first weeks of November, for us to just write down a list of all the people and what relationships they are to you, or how many of them are gone, like $5 gifts, $10 gifts, and stuff like that. Just write that down, and it will save you a ton of time and help you get your financials in order. So you'll be able to kind of gauge how much money. So if you're doing 500 and that's all you have for the holidays, and you have 20 people on a list, then you are going to be recommending to take that list and probably do just like you go in the stores. You see $5 gifts, $10 gifts, $20 or whatever, and kind of ration it off like that, and make those people lists be correlating with how much you want to prepare for them. So the first step is, number one, whatever moneyality type it is to just write down a list. Like, we're in tough times for some of us. Write a list. Do not figure like, oh, try to go in your head and think, oh, I got them, whatever. Just write this down. Put it in your phone. Make a list in your phone. You don't have to write it on paper. When I say write stuff down, I don't literally mean that you have to write it down on paper anymore. Some of us do. Some of us like the old school, and I'm one of them. But we also know that you can definitely write it in your phone. So that's a tip. And so the second one, and we got 10 of these, so we're going to kind of go through them. The second one is to do price checks with your phone. Let's use these phones. We're paying big bucks for phones. And so there are so many stores that will do price adjustments if you find a price cheaper than someone else. But because of the luxury of phones, you can take pictures of the scan cards, the QR cards, and see where they are in other places. Does Walmart have it? Does Target have it? You can do all of this from the luxury of your phone, and just price check, like which ones are better and where is the best price. And you might could do that even prior to getting out there, because in my mind, as a keeper, when I leave my house, I already have my route in my head on how I'm going to save gas and how I'm going to go from one place to the other without having to backtrack. I'm very good with that. It's just like managing my money. I manage my travel time in my car that same way. I say, if I'm starting here off of Union, I'm gonna do everything that's on Union, or anything that was remotely close to Union. I'm gonna do that before I branch out to other areas. But it actually not only saves you gas, but it actually just gives you structure instead of just running off. But of course, to each their own, but that's the keeper's mentality, and not just jump at it. But the bottom line is to price check. Use your phone to price check and know where you are going and how much money you want to spend, right? So that's important. And then be proactive. Be proactive. Now, how many people are proactive? Those are the trackers I told you. The trackers probably already got their list. The keeper has an idea of who they're going to purchase gifts for, probably not the price ranges. They're still struggling with that, because that's where I would be. The adventurer, they may be proactive when it comes to some of the important people, but they are always kind of gauging to a tracker. I'm sorry. The adventurer is kind of that risky one, which is part of my personality from this weekend, is that I kind of wanted to take a risk and leave that sweater. But the problem that I've had with taking those risks and leaving the sweater is that when I go back, my size is not there. Or when I go back, it's just doesn't, it's not the one I wanted, or it's always something, right? We could say that, but I have decided it's the size I want. It fits good. I purchased it, right? So I was trying to be proactive with that. But when you are gift giving, I would say be proactive. I would say be proactive for sure. I am always excited about people that are so proactive that they buy gifts after Christmas sales. They buy them for the next year for the holidays. Like, wow. I have never been able to do that, but I love that. I think that is an amazing thing because it takes a lot of planning, really, like to be ready. But for me, I never know who I, maybe by next year I done bought a gift and I may not even give that person that gift. So I don't know about buying it that early, being proactive, but I love that. I do think that's a good thing. So we are on number one, remember, was to, let me make sure I'm looking right. Number one was to make a list of who you're buying for, right? Number two was to write them down and do the price checks. Do the price. The first one is to write down who you're buying gifts for. Number two is to use your phone for the price checks. Number three is to be proactive. And then we are down with number four, buy last year's electronics. I saw that and I thought, that's not like my big thing, but I get it. And some of the things like the Xboxes and stuff like that, I can't speak on it because I'm not familiar with them. But I was understanding it and I thought, I like that idea of, like I told you, seasonal clothes. If I had bought that sweater last year, I would be still wearing it this year. And that was what always made me laugh when somebody talks about, oh, that was last year's whatever. I don't buy clothes seasonally enough that I just wear it one time in the fall and I'm never going to wear it another fall again. Oh, that wouldn't happen. So I always laugh at, like, if I get this sweater now, I'm going to wear it again and again. So who will ever know? I guess they could say, oh, I know she bought that 3 seasons ago. But really, if you checking for me that much, then hey, that's just meaning I am great at maintaining quality clothes to keep them that long. But yeah, definitely for that one about number 4, buy electronics from last year. I think that's a great idea. I think sometimes we get too, the splurger is the one who does it. The splurger is the one who wants to have the latest and the greatest and the newest things. And so I would just recommend, if you are the splurger type and you want to have the latest and the greatest, really make the comparisons on what's different from last year's electronics than this year's. Is it enough to pay the difference in the pricing? So people talk about buying new cars, and when you drive them off the lot, they're already devalued. That is true, but there are still some people who just love that new car. And so it's not going to matter when you say, oh, it's going to devalue. That's not their issue. They want the new car. They want that real new car smell. So it's the same thing with these electronics. Make sure that when you're doing it, is it in the price range you want? And what are the differences? Like, do a list. Again, use your phone to make the list to say, this one, just the only difference is it's blue. but the speeds are still the same. The connections are still the same. So be very clear about that. And that's my number 4. So number 5 is know the truth. And I love this one because I see it all the time. Know the truth in what these sales are really talking about, because we're about to have it. Black Friday. There is not really a Black Friday anymore because we got Black Friday, Cyber Mondays, and all that. But in actuality, when I'm looking at my Macy's advertisement that comes to my box, the same sales, the 1-day sales, all of that is still be the same prices. And I'm thinking they just marketing us with different stuff. And that's what that is. But make sure that you're not caught up so much in the hype of the cyber sale or the Black Friday. Black Friday used to be like amazing to me. Not that I was participating in it, but I loved it because I lived I would go to a small town, my hometown, for the holiday for Thanksgiving. And that was the time where you could come to Walmart and you would get to see all the people that was in home for the holiday, because they would be at Walmart for that Black Friday sale. That was like the biggest event in my hometown. So can you imagine now? People don't even really get messed up around it because you can get it all online. You ain't got to leave your house. And yeah, people were out there sitting out there at 5 o'clock or something. I think some of that still may go on, but it really was kind of cool. I kind of like that joy part of that, just kind of hanging out there. Not that I was the one out there shopping for them, but just to be able to be part of the camaraderie, which is the mingler part of me, is that I like that socializing and being in the midst with my family and friends. So make sure that you are getting a good deal. I guess that's the sum up number 5. Make sure you're getting a good deal and not caught up in the label of Black Friday or the marketing of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I mean, in October last year, last month, I was already hearing Black Friday stuff. Like, what? We in October. Halloween hadn't even come, and they were already making announcements about sales that were coming. And I was like, wow, I love marketing though. I mean, marketing is what it is, and we get caught up in it, but that is something to be aware of. That is definitely important. And definitely the one that I would probably go with the splurger and talk to the splurger is stay on top of stay on top of how you're going to circulate your money. And are you circulating your money with small businesses? I'll definitely always push small businesses, Black owned businesses. Make sure in your mind that the value that you're putting on it is not always based on, let's say, the name or whatever, because sometimes that doesn't make it the best quality product. And I'm not going to give any examples really, but I'm just telling you, everything that has a name brand does not make it the best quality. And I will say this, as a Black owned business and having sold product and will be selling the Moneyality course, I don't think it's always understood that when you are small and you are a small business and you're trying to compare our prices to large conglomerate big boy corporations, are you being fair? I mean, the labor is different. You're talking about factories of people manufacturing the same products in mass production versus some of us that are at home filling jars right now that are doing it from the love of who we are and the love of our product. So I think that's important. Even for me as a keeper, I'm real about that. I will pay the price for a small price, a bigger price for a small business. And I have been that person that have been like, oh, that's too expensive. But when I think about it and I realize that I am a business owner, I understand that some of the things that we think are expensive and we try to go and get it at the big businesses. It's got these factories. It's so many other factors that go into it that I cannot even begin to tell you. But I will tell you that supporting a small business is the best thing for me, and I recommend it for everyone. That love that is poured into some of the products, I think it makes it so much grander, and I think the products are better quality products because somebody is at home normally making it with love and detail and really putting a lot of emphasis and trying to make their products be the best that they can be. So I say that all to say, be mindful of how you're circulating your money, but also remember that as a moneyality type, being a splurger, being a keeper, being a tracker, an adventurer, or a mingler, I'll tell all the moneyality types to patronize small businesses because the value is tremendous, and the the quality tends to be greater more times than not for me when I go to somebody who really has put a lot of time and love into their products. So I will stop on that part, but that's where I am on making sure that I stay on top of how I circulate my cash to different businesses. And so that is number 6. Number 7 is, by all means, consider making your own gifts. And I love this. I used to say, I'm not creative, but I realized that I am creative. I have done the 12 days of Christmas before, and I have actually loved it. I love making gifts. And when I did the 12 days of Christmas with one of my uh partners, like he and I did it, and he was not as great as I was. And so he was kind of mad about it. But at the end of the day, it was fun for me because not only because it's more than about just buying something. It's about that I put in the time. I made a card. I write about whatever the gift is, kind of trying to make you guess what it is. But that's a creative side of people, but not even being as elaborate as I am. You don't have to be as elaborate as I was. But what I will say is that making a card or writing a letter, oh, it could just change the whole dynamic of a relationship that you are in, whether it's a personal relationship, a letter to your child. I mean, we are sleeping on things that could bring so much more value to our gift giving. If it was just something personal that we did for somebody, if you know somebody even like pickles, go buy a case of pickles or something and give them to them. But that's again purchasing. But if you made your own pickles, that would even be greater. But if you went to a small business and did it, but I am really great at making collages. I take a lot of pictures online, and then I put them in the software that says make a collage, and it makes the collage for me. I print it out or take it to Walgreens, and then I have a frame for it and I give it as a gift. You can't beat that. That's a collage of all these great pictures that I've experienced with these people, and I love it. So that's not even $5. That's just a little time, and you got software that does the work for you. You can shoot it to Walgreens, CVS, and that is staying on top of your spending, and then giving considerable gifts, considering that you're giving a gift that is personal, and it can provide so much love and just a whole different feel for the holidays. You mean how much joy you get from that? Writing poetry, it's just a lot of simpler things like making somebody their favorite dish to eat. Why not? Like put that in a box and wrap it up and give it to them. Or And let me back off before I leave this. I will tell you that I am a regifter. I will regift things because for me, I love that somebody has thought enough about me, but some things that I know are not going to be great for me. And I'm just going to save them to say, oh my gosh, I got this from my sister. And I know that one of my friends wants one and need it. To me, it's part of the circulating of who I am. Like when I say circulating, I'm not always again talking about currency. We talked about that last week. Like you're circulating the happiness. And when we talked about does money bring you happiness, it's like the circulation of how your money moves bring you happiness. So circulating gifts and recycling them through, I'm wholeheartedly supporting it. I mean, that's just my take. Do what's best for you, make you comfortable. And then number 8, those expensive gifts, the diamonds, the engagement rings, maybe the high-end iPhones. I would have say that we're in November. I would have loved for you to have been planning for those way in advance because there are so many sales that go on throughout the year that I think sometimes we are not prior planning. And I think saving up for those expensive gifts in advance would be great. At the point where we are now, we're in November. We are 56 days from this year being over. Like, can you believe that? So we are like less than maybe 5 weeks, and then we're going to be at Christmas. Like, wow. So with that being said, some of those expensive gifts that you could have been saving for, I think you're going to have to do some quick saving for those. And then number 9, that number 8 was to save for the expensive gifts. Number 9, to avoid shopping sprees. To like this weekend, I went on a shopping spree a little bit for myself. And so for me, that was new. That was me being a splurger for a day. And I am really happy, and I'm not even having buyer's remorse anymore. But going on shopping sprees and not having that list, that was number 1, and not prioritizing them and making sure you're doing some comparison shopping prices, or even putting them in categories of $5 gifts, $10 gifts, and things like that. And if you're not making the gifts, which was number 8, these shopping sprees can get you. So be very mindful. The shopping sprees are more for people that are adventurers. They are risk takers. They kind of go back and forth. They think about money, and then they'll think, oh, but I can make this money back another time, so I'm just gonna splurge. It happens. And all the 5 Moneyality personality types, this is one of the better times of our season, is to know them and to really know which one you are, and maybe even knowing the people that are around you what they are, because it really helps make these decisions a lot easier for you and for your purchasing power, and what are you going to be realistically doing to make sure you're getting quality gifts, but special gifts, but also gifts that are not going to have you feeling any remorse, right? So we don't want that. And the number 10 is for people that are trying to make sure that they are doing something for their family that are not local. So when you're doing your budgeting and when you're thinking about your gifts, think about, will the store ship them? Are you drop shipping them? Because that's important. And are you spending enough money on that site that you get free shipping? So all of those things are big factors, because when you're thinking about, oh, I'm getting a $5 gift, but it's going to take you $20 to send it to the person, you might want to reevaluate that one and maybe go and get it on a site where if you spend 50, you get free shipping, and then you can buy maybe somebody else's gift on there and then just have the shipping done, because shipping costs are crazy expensive sometimes. And sometimes you have to think about, like, I just got a gift that was very small in price, very cheap. It's a great quality gift, but it was very inexpensive, and I now have to ship it, and I know the shipping is going to cost more than a gift, but it's not going to cost more. It's not going to be more expensive than the value of what the gift is going to mean to that person. Number two, the gift was inexpensive, but it's really an expensive gift. So if you understand that the gift is expensive, I just got it at an inexpensive cost, that now I am going to use some of that inexpensive cost now to send that expensive gift by shipping it. That's going to add more to the value of what that gift would be. But at the end of the day, that is number 10. So those are 10 things that I want us to start thinking about as holiday shopping with the Moneyality Types. If you don't know your Moneyality type, which I know many of you do not, that is something that I am going to have for you definitely in the next month. If not sooner. I cannot wait to come online and say it's there, where you will be able to go on the moneyality.com website and to take the assessment and see where your Moneyality types are. And I'm excited about it, because then I think we'll have real full-blown conversations, and you'll be able to understand and respect, like, that's what she was talking about. That's why I feel this way. So I'm going to be excited about that. So going backwards, we're going to count them down from 10. Number 10 is to make sure that you are taking care and including your shipping cost when you're doing your gifts. Number 9 was to be mindful about shopping sprees at this late in the game, because that also falls back to the marketing. Are you really getting the best value? Number 8 was save up for those expensive gifts, but I'm already telling you, we're in November. So if you haven't, be mindful and do a lot of number 2, which was price checking. But number 7 is to consider making the gifts. Do the 12 days of Christmas, do the 5 days of Christmas, do the 4 days of Christmas, and just do something fun, even with your children. I think that would be an amazing activity for a family, is to just tell them, hey, take some things, go around the house, find some things, and it'll help you declutter. I mean, that gift right there alone will put a spin on decluttering your house, but just maybe taking some things that you need to throw out and making them into something that's beautiful. So that was number 7. Number 6 is to stay on top of how you're going to be circulating that money and making sure that you are doing it in a way that you are not going to have a lot of buyer's remorse, and you'll have a festive and enjoyable holiday, because your whole mood can change when it comes to holiday shopping. So be mindful of that. And number 5 was make sure that you're getting a good deal on the Black Fridays and the Cyber Mondays. Make sure that that's just not a marketing gimmick, and that you are still getting a better price than you would have normally gotten on that day. And if so, then hey, go for it. Yay. But if not, think about, where are we now, which gets us back again to number 3, be proactive. Already start looking at prices and doing number 2, which is the price check with your phone. Start scanning those bars on your phone to see who has them, how much they are in other stores and stuff like that. And number 1 was to decide who all gets gifts this year. Are you having a gift of just family members? There are just so many ways that you could incorporate Moneyality into your gift list, because some people, if you know their Moneyality type, you know that they're not going to be big on, like, for me, I love gifts, but I don't like gifts that are not useful for me, because I am a keeper. I like to have things around me that are useful for me. So that is important if and when you start learning your Moneyality Types, and that is going to make a huge difference. So when you think you know a person, sometimes you could just ask them and that'll save you. Instead of thinking you know them, ask them, what do they really want? What is something they've been looking at? Give me a list of 2 or 3 things. I do it all the time. I found that I'd rather ask them that than to just go out and splurge on something and they don't like it. And so then I'm in my feelings because I didn't spend this time trying to pick something. Now I've circulated my money to this store and it's not even something that they love. I'm done with that. That part of my keeper life, I am moving from, and I'm now taking into consideration that there are other ways to figure out what are people enjoying. Okay, so that is the topics for the holiday shopping. And I'm going to leave you all with a couple of things I want to talk about before. But remember to follow me on YouTube. Go and like and subscribe to the THEE Miss MS Moneyalogist, MONEYALOGIST. Go like, subscribe, watch my previous videos. I so enjoy talking about moneyality. If you can just hear the joy in my voice, it's always there, because moneyality really is all about understanding how money makes us feel, how we think about it, and we think about and feel ways about money every day. Every time you make a purchase, if it's either I don't even care, I'm just going to get this, or woo, this is more than I thought, it's still some feeling, some reaction that we get when we are circulating our money around in the community, online, or whatever. So what I will say is that one of my favorite people that I like to listen to is a man that's from Japan. His name is Kim Honda. I always was thinking, was he part of Honda, the car company? Was his family? Because he talks about his family had money when he was young, but he talks about that it can be so difficult sometimes when we're looking at money and money, but he calls it happy money, that money should be making us happy. And so when you look at it in your wallet, or when you're looking at your check online, are you happy about it? So I'm going to leave us with the thought of happy money is when you can circulate money and feel good about your choices and have it where it makes your mindset feel really good. You're not stressed. And this is not a time for us to be stressed. Holidays should be times for enjoyment, times for us to have pleasure in our lives. And that's what it's about. But let's even move a really quick way, right? Because I'm talking about holidays, but it really should be part of our daily life, right? So living and breathing and having happy money and being able to look in your wallet and see how is your money looking? How does it make you feel when you look down in your wallet or whatever? It's important to be able to do that and feel good about it. So on that note, I am going to be closing out. I have totally enjoyed it. I probably will do another brief episode and see how we're doing. Something else that I want us to do, something I'm thinking about doing, is just starting to go live with the audience so you all can talk to me and ask me questions. So I'm going to be really playing that up and seeing if that's something that I'm going to be bringing as part of the podcast. But I have loved talking tonight about holiday shopping with the 5 moneyality the moneyality types, which is how you feel, your moneyality, your money personality. So with that, thank you for being and listening to Moneyality with Tanya Collins, the Miss Moneyalogist. Peace.
Moneyality, moneyality with the moneyalogist, Miss Tanya Collins.
2, 1, 0.